Hi guys, this is Samantha Mickey reporting in on my Inquiring Minds question, which was, should men make more than women? And the way I interpreted this question was based on gender alone, should men make more than women? Not with more experience, not with more education, just because the fact that they're a man, they should make more than a woman. And when thinking about this question, I decided that I wanted to do an online survey and get answers that way, but also just get some like news articles and such that would just kind of give me some more statistics. So according to my Google Forms that I did, that I shared, not allowed, I shared with my colleagues and asked them to do, and they were kind enough to do. And I shared on Facebook with some education groups I'm in because I'm going to be a teacher, so I'm in some education groups on there. I ended up getting 90 responses. I wanted 100 for more fair data, but I ended up getting 90 and I was okay with that. So according to my Google Forms, 94.4% of the responses said no, men should not make more than women just based on gender alone. And that was 85 out of 90 responses answered no. Now, some people did answer yes, a total of 5, and they did have commentary. All the people who answered yes had some kind of comment. I left a comment box in the survey that allowed people to, whether yes or no, just have some commentary. They didn't have to, but it was an option. So I'm going to share with you some of the responses I got from the people who said yes. They said that physically, men are more superior to women and are built more efficiently. So therefore, in fields of physical labor, men should be paid more than women, regardless, just because of the fact that they're a man and they are typically physically superior, they should be paid more. Also, another reason was that maternity leave was cited. Someone noted that if a woman has 3 to 4 months off for a baby or more, and a man is working the same job 12 months out of the year, then they should get paid more based solely on the fact that there is a maternity leave option available for women. To counter that, in some countries and certain jobs, there are maternity leave options for men to allow them to help their wives with the baby and be there during the first few months of the baby's life. I got one response that wage gap is simply a myth and therefore this question shouldn't be asked at all because it's a myth that's been debunked for years. To counter that point, it's not to cite CNBC and also a scholarly article I found on Mog's database. Women are still making 80 cents to a man's dollar. On the other hand of things, people who said yes, a couple of them did leave responses. Many were just pushing for equality, saying there's no reason why there is a wage gap today. I don't know if I've said age gap. I hope I've said wage gap, but it there was a comment, 2 comments left that women should actually make more than men because they are better at multitasking and they are typically left with more responsibility at home, and also they are more likely to be left being a single mother and left with the responsibilities of a child alone. So they should be paid more because of those 2 reasons. That was just 2 comments I got on my Google Forms. Just to quote a couple news articles to wrap this up, I did look at CNBC and they did say that in their statistics, they find that sometimes there's a fair misrepresentation of women in the higher paying jobs and like the top. So that does affect the wage gap statistics because when there are no women, it just it's naturally unfair if there's no woman in a certain field or at the highest paying levels. Daily Telegraph did a completely sarcastic tongue-in-cheek article about why men should make more, and there were many actual claims that have been made and they chose to debunk those. So many of the claims were ones that we already hear, like wage gap's a myth and men are built better and all of the other ones that you hear an argument. But one that I thought was interesting was that the wage gap exists because women are less likely to ask for a pay raise, and that was actually debunked. Specifically, they quoted a study in Australia of 4,600 employees, and there was absolutely no difference in asking between men and women. If a man asks, a woman asks, it was completely 50-50. So that was definitely debunked. Just another interesting statistic to wrap this up. Men with children typically earn 15% more in their careers, while women with children typically earn 3% less for having children. So men are actually rewarded for having children, whereas men are rewarded and women are typically punished. So I think there is no clear answer. According to my Google Forms and what I found, no, there is no reason why there is a wage gap in this country. And everywhere actually, and it's not just the United States, it's all across the globe. So in finishing, my answer based on my information and based on my own personal opinion, no, men should not be paid more than women. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.